I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
It's a Monday morning, you beautiful early risers. Welcome to it. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show is live, large and in charge after hopefully what's been an amazing weekend for you and your loved ones. Welcome to it, the start of a brand new week. I'm Katleho Maboe.
I'm Tabi Somakubela. Everybody calls me Uncle Tebzi. You can do it too, at your service. Welcome, South Africa. So good to have you here. You are here on the Feel Good Express. Lots of feel good coming your way because starters, we've got Jared Ricketts in the house. Yes, it is.
And Roderick on the piano. Come on now.
Oh, it is Gospel Mondays, hopefully setting you up for a fired up week ahead. And of course, you've been given some options of songs to choose from on social media. Hopefully you are checking those out and making the right choices, right?
Yeah, how were the weekend rehearsals, guys? Did they go well?
It went good. It went good.
Yeah.
We had a
Actually,
few minutes together.
I'm being presumptuous. I feel like I've just jumped in and assumed that you rehearse on the weekend.
I was about to
When
ask, how
do
did
you
you know?
find time? Because I know that you both are very busy keeping up,
Yes.
with what you're doing.
Well,
When
I
do you-
call Roderick up on the phone. I'm like, just hit the keys for me quickly. This is the key I want to do it in. So it's, yeah, we have to do it that way. I did a show yesterday and Roderick was a part of that. So we got to do a bit of a practice before.
How did that go, by the way?
Really well. It was a virtual concert.
Yes.
Nice.
And we had 10 females from across the country. We all stood together against
Amazing.
gender-based
I
violence.
love it.
Wonderful.
I love it.
And Lamini, Vicky Sampson, Megan Danner from Port Elizabeth.
Wow.
Just so many amazing artists that decided to come together, be a part of my show. So
Yeah.
good times all around. I'm still waiting for Kat to let me know when he's going to come.
The spot. Oh,
We're
what
ready.
is-
We are
I'm trying
ready
to
for
just-
it. We are
Listen,
ready.
Listen, it's going to be quite a beautiful Monday, and thank you very much for joining us. Make sure that you stay tuned for those wonderful spiritually uplifting tunes from Jared and Roderick a little bit later on. But let's say hello to the rest of the team. Good morning, guys.
A very good morning to you, team. A good morning to you,
Good
Nogs.
morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. It's the start of a brand new week and the start of a brand new day. And thank you so much for choosing to start yours with us right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. I had a wonderful weekend. I was chilling indoors, Nogs, this past weekend, just lumming on the couch. But you know, the nature of our work requires us to step out of the house during really cold hours.
Exactly. Like the whole time I was like, do I have to be outside? I mean, the storm in Cape Town this weekend, I was like, I'm so happy indoors.
Like, do I really have to go outside? But we have to. And
have to.
also, we have to make sure that we are looking all beat and beautiful for TV. But
Yes.
one thing that I truly do not like is transferring my foundation from my face to my polo neck.
Exactly. It happens
What?
all the time. And I mean, obviously, we're wearing like polo necks. We're wearing stuff that covers our necks more often. And obviously, like, it's got beautiful cottons, like your viscose blend. But with makeup on it, it doesn't look cute. You know what I mean? It just
Not at all.
doesn't look cute. But I always have the secret for you.
Yes,
It's a Monday and I've got a tip.
Always, Unoske, guys, our fashion and beauty editor, is here to give us,
Yes.
the lowdown on what we can do to ensure
Yeah.
that we kind of,
Avoid,
doing
yeah. So it happens to me often, Kutle, and I really, really hate it. I'm going to turn this way to do some of my
Please.
makeup. My favorite base at the moment has actually been the Estee Lauder Double Wear skincare product. It's been absolutely incredible. I'm just going to use some of it now, just to show you how easily we can actually work with this issue, right? So what I like about it is that it's a very lightweight kind of foundation. It's great for all uneven skin tones. It has a really, really great way of it's a medium kind of foundation. So, you can last the whole day. I won't need to refill it. I tend to use it for a contour here. Because I am and I use it on my neck. So this is amazing because no matter how hot or oily your day becomes, it's not going to come out. It's not transferable. So it's amazing where, I'm going to use a little bit more, but I mean, they are so great with this product. You don't need a lot.
I've heard so many great things about this foundation.
Absolutely.
First of all, the full medium to full coverage.
Incredible.
And also you don't need to build too much on it.
I use the W Beauty setting spray. Got that thing cooling.
Wait, we have a W Beauty setting spray.
So the setting spray now, which is amazing. So once you've used that Estee Lauder, right, you can then use the setting spray just to lock it, wait for a few minutes, keep your clothes away from it. And then once you're ready and it's dried up, I promise you, you can close it up and you will not have an issue with makeup on your stuff. And this is why I love this stuff. And I won't need to redo it during the day. It's remarkable. So literally with the Estee Lauder, along with your setting spray, you are bound to have an incredible look. And also your clothes are not going to suffer.
I cannot wait to try it out immediately right now.
Yeah.
Knox, thank you so much for always putting through to elevate not only our style, but also our makeup, you know, tips and tricks. I love you for that. Now you at home can shop all your winter essentials and these wonder products at Woolworths, in store, online, or on the Woolies app.
How hungry I am.
All girls coming through with all that drip. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, South Africa. My name is Jamie Lee Domburg, reporting live for duty this morning.
And of course, I'm Ryle the Morning, nourishing you with all the wealth, the health, and the fitness that's coming to you on this fresh Monday morning indeed.
Listen, you're in for a program at least, because Ryle is taking us through a high-intensity workout. One of my favorites. So we're going to burn the calories, burn all that extra food over the weekend. Speaking about food, you know, the chefs are actually preparing meals under 30 minutes a day. And we wanted to find out by you on our social media platforms what food you can prepare under 30 minutes. That's going to be a bit of a challenge for everybody. Ryle, I've never seen you cook. I'm always seeing you out in the nature, living your best life, doing some trial, like hiking trails. Can you cook?
I can actually cook a meal in 30 minutes in the mountain.
In the mountain?
In the mountain. I will raise you on that. I'll show you guys later one day. I'll find a little snippet, but it can be done.
You know 2-minute noodles doesn't count, eh?
Okay, well, maybe I'll take that back then now when you choke you.
Maybe you let us know what inspiration you can find or what meals you can cook under 30 minutes. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. But you are in for a treat on this Monday morning. But right now, let's start with the order of the day with his news headlines with G.
Thank you so much, Jean. Let's kick it off with our national news first. Gauteng will overtake the Western Cape with most COVID-19 cases in coming days. Health Minister Zweli Mkhize said yesterday. He said the surge in the past fortnight had developed due to infections carried in by members of the community as they moved back to the workplace. And he added that the testing backlog will be cleared in the next few days. Well, more than 1.5 million tests have so far been completed. Latest cumulative number of cases in the country is 138,134, with 43 new deaths, taking the total to 2,456. Then the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture, the Zondo Commission, will resume its hearings today. The inquiry will hear evidence into allegations of corruption at the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa for the most part of the week. Spokesperson Mbuyiselo Stimela said. Now, some of the witnesses include former chairperson of the board of PRASA, Popo Malefe, and the head of its legal department, Martha Ngoye. And casting a wider net on the international front, the Rolling Stones have warned President Donald Trump that he could face legal action if he continues using their songs at his campaign rallies. Now, Trump used the song "You Can't Always Get What You Want" at last week's rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Meanwhile, politicians of Mississippi have removed the Confederate emblem from the state flag. The flag was originally used by the slave-owning states which lost the U.S. Civil War from 1861 to 1865. Mississippi was the last state in the U.S. to feature the emblem on its flag, so a bold, great move. Now, Malawi's new president, Lazarus Chakwera, who was inaugurated yesterday after being elected in a presidential rerun last week, is a former evangelical preacher who says he ventured into politics to answer God's call. The 65-year-old Chakwera, who speaks with a strong American accent, has pledged to run a government, and we quote, that serves, not rules, inspires, not infuriates, listens, not shouts, and fights for its citizens and not against them. He holds degrees in philosophy and theology and was president of the Malawi Assemblies of God for 24 years before becoming an opposition leader. And now news of history being made at the NAF. The National Arts Festival, which kicked off on Thursday this past week, commences its second week online today. For the first time in the event's 46-year history, it's being hosted online, due obviously to the coronavirus pandemic. The virtual festival is considered one of the largest in the world. The program offers online creativity, pre-recorded and live events, short films, virtual art exhibitions, jam sessions, interactive events, webinars, and more. And it can be viewed through the portal of the newly redesigned website with a daily program of shows presented, and a full festival pass allows access to the entire curated program, but daily passes and passes to specific festival elements can also be bought via the website. CEO Monica Newton said this year had brought extraordinary opportunity to experiment with new forms. The festival will return to its home in Makanda as soon as it's safe to do so. She added, meanwhile, the entire world can this year experience this unique and amazing National Arts Festival from their homes. Now, continuing to look at the world of entertainment, American actor Dwayne Johnson hosted a very successful Global Goal Unite for Our Future virtual concert this past Saturday, which saw the international advocacy organization Global Citizen bring together a slew of celebrities, philanthropists, politicians, and more for a 2-hour special to help combat the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 on vulnerable and marginalized communities. While they're first together at home, virtual events or simple home-based performances from the artists, the Global Goal event brought with it more fanfare and production value. This saw American singer Miley Cyrus perform a cover of the Beatles' Help in an empty Rose Bowl stadium in Pasadena, California, and Colombian singer J Balvin performed his hit Mi Gente in a colorful 3D rendered fantasy land. All in all, the event managed to raise some $6.9 million in pledges from governments and corporations and philanthropists around the world. An amazing and entertaining accomplishment that will truly make a difference. And that's where we leave our news headlines for now. We are prepping for another brilliant performance from Jared Ricketts in just a moment. But let's continue with a festive morning, get the weather in at the start of a brand new week.
A very good morning to you, South Africa. It's time for us to have the first look at the weather this morning. But first, let's start off the day on the right note by looking at some stunning sunrise pictures. The first one is sent in by Yanni Herst from Kroonstad of a skyline with an orange tint to it. Kroonstad starts the day off on -4 degrees and will reach a high of 17 degrees. Louise G. Sherry sent us this gorgeous skyline of the ocean while the sun is making its way from the south coast in KZN. Thank you to both Yanni and Louise for sending in your sunrise pictures. I hope that you have an incredible start to your day. This weekend's inclement weather confirmed undoubtedly why the Cape Peninsula is referred to as the Cape of Storms. The city of Cape Town and its residents are still busy with mopping up operations after 2 days of very cold weather and strong winds. Heavy rain fell from Friday night and strong winds uprooted ancient trees, which in some instances landed on vehicles. Power lines are also being restored and trees felled by the wind are being cleared. The city of Cape Town says it is providing flood kits and sandbags to various informal settlements in the metropole, which have been flooded due to the heavy rainfall on Saturday. But right now, let's get into the temperatures for the rest of the country, starting off at Polokwane with a low of 3 degrees, reaching a high of 20. A partly cloudy day in Bombela with a maximum of 22 and a minimum of 8 degrees. It's a sunny day in Pretoria at a maximum of 19 with a minimum of 5 degrees. Jozi Maboneng starts off at 2 degrees this morning, reaching a maximum of 17. Mahikeng 221. Reaching a high of 19. Bloemfontein -5 this morning, but reaching a high of 17. Richards Bay is also a partly cloudy day at a maximum of 23, but starts off the day at 12 degrees. Pietermaritzburg 6:20, Durban 14:23, and Mthatha iqala ku-1 namhlanje, reaching a high of 21. If you are in East London, 12:21 are your temperatures for the day. Cradock, your temperatures range from 1 degrees, reaching a high of 18. Port Elizabeth 13:20, George 10:19 with 56% chance of rain, and Cape Town also 42% chance of rain at a maximum of 16 with a minimum of 13. Worcester 7:17, Sutherland it's a partly cloudy day at 0, reaching a high of 13, and Uppington starts off the day at 1 degrees, reaching a high of 19. Now remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day, and hopefully this performance will get you started.
Indeed, hopefully it will. Maybe you've started off this Monday morning with your spirits a little bit low. Maybe you're a Tottenham fan and your team has not made it into the FA Cup semi-final. You need somebody to really uplift your spirit on this Monday morning. Well, we've got the fix for you. Jared Ricketts and Roderick are here to perform songs to uplift your mood on this Monday. Of course, we gave you the choice on Friday to vote for your 2 favorite songs. And of course, Moments Like These and Shout to the Lord were the top voted songs. And so, Jared and Roderick are here to perform the very first of those 2 songs in Moments Like These.
Good morning, South Africa, and welcome to Gospel Mondays with myself, Jared Ricketts, and Roger McKay on the grand piano. You know, over the course of the last few weeks, we've seen friends and family members lose themselves, their lives to COVID-19, and so my heart goes out to all of you. If you find yourself in a dark space, hopefully the song will encourage you, lift your spirits, and remind you that God is in control. In moments like these, I sing out a song. I sing out a love song to Jesus. In moments like these, I lift up my hands. I lift up my hands to the Lord, singing, I love you, Lord, singing, I love you, Lord, singing, I love you, Lord, I love you. In moments like these, I sing out. In moments like these, I lift up my hands. I lift up my hands to the Lord, singing, I love you, Lord, singing, I love you, Lord, singing, I love you, Lord, I love you, singing, I love you, Lord, singing, I love you, Lord, singing, I love you, Lord, I love you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Oh yes, give us a shimmy. Welcome back, all you beautiful people, right here to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Yes, it's that time of the day where we wish you, our loyal and love viewers, a very happy birthday. And if it is your birthday today, you get to share it with none other than the queen of Afro jazz herself. Judith Sepuma, everybody, is turning 46 years old today. Of course, Judith Sepuma is well known for her multi-status selling jazz albums. And for over 2 decades, Judith still continues to impress us with her voice. Her career is still rising. And she also continues making a difference in our society and all over the African continent. I met Judith Sepuma about 3 months ago. That lady has vocals out of a note. I love her, love to meet her. But of course, Judith, happy birthday. What's your favorite Judith song?
You're gonna ask me.
What is it?
This is one song which I really love. I don't know the words and I never ever got it, but it was like that. I don't know the words at all. Sounds something like that. Maybe you can help me. Maybe you guys at home can figure out what I'm saying.
Ral Sepuma is in the building, everybody. Sorry, Judith,
But
we
a
did not
happy
rehearse that, but happy
birthday
birthday to you.
Indeed. Now, obviously, we're celebrating birthdays to all you beautiful people watching at home. And first up, it's Denise. And we're saying happy birthday to my mother, Denise Hurzak. May you be blessed with all that you wish and pray for. We love you from your family. Well, happy birthday to you. And now the next one coming up is Maggie, celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday to an amazing mother and grandmother, aunt, wife, and mother-in-law, Maggie Naidu. You are truly an amazing person with a heart of gold. Thank you for always going out your way for us, and have a blessed day from the Milligans.
Oh, keeping it going, keeping it flowing. The next one reads, I wish my wife, Vizalia, a happy birthday. Thank you for being the best wife a husband could wish for. Love from your husband, Reese. He loves you so much.
Looking so lavish and flash out there. I'm loving that outfit.
Come true, Vizalia. And then the next one reads, on your birthday, Elizabeth, we wish that whatever you want most in life comes your way just the way you've imagined it, or even better. Wishing you a beautiful day with good health and happiness forever. Happy birthday, and this comes from your family. They love you lots, Elizabeth.
Now we've got Jacques coming up. It's God's richest blessings to you, Jacques Grenier, on your birthday. And may God, our Heavenly Father, bestow your blessings upon you. We pray that all the desires of your heart be fulfilled at the correct and right time. You are indeed a perfect example. Happy birthday to you, with lots of love and deep appreciation from the Lowe family. What a special message.
Absolutely.
Absolutely heartfelt. Now, Izzy Vin is also celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday to our little handsome young man, Izzy Vin van Wyk. What a kiff name. That's like a rapper to be, man. Izzy V in the building. Now, more of life and love's blessings to you, and enjoy your special day from the Isaacs family.
And then last but not least, I wish my sister, my twin friend and colleague Mopone, a super and lovely day on her 35th birthday today. Happy birthday. We love you, sister. And this comes from Kiddo. But of course, if you would like to send your loved one a birthday message, send us your birthday videos to 071 640 6551, or email your wishes to birthdays@cordova.tv. But it seems like Game is also celebrating their birthday, so let's find out how they're doing so.
This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3. Now, when you turn 50, of course, you don't just want to blow out candles and eat cake. You want to celebrate in style. And the funny chef, Lebogang Tlokana, joins us this morning to chat about Game's 50/50 birthday celebration this year, and how they're celebrating in true Game style with the epic 50/50 trolley dash competition. Lebo, it's so good to have you with us this morning. How are you?
I am excited. How are you?
Very, very, very much excited as well.
Very well as well, and excited, as Kat mentioned. Growing up, everyone has a Game store's memory, whether it was the store you got your first bike at, or you went shopping with your grandparents when you were younger. Even during lockdown, they actually had our bags. That's where I got my 30 seconds board game.
Hey.
What is your fondest memory, your game?
You remember like those rollerblades, or was it roller skates?
Yes.
Everybody in my neighborhood had those, and I was the only one, so I cried for months. The day I got those skates, I was always a fat kid, so I did the split and I almost broke my neck, and never again. Never.
I guess a fond memory on the one hand, possibly hurtful memory on the other.
Traumatic.
But you know what? It's all right. Now, listen, Lebogang, to celebrate, Game is running their Thrifty 50 Trolley Dash competition. So to enter, you need to, of course, complete the Thrifty 50 personality quiz on the Facebook page. So how was your quiz, and what Thrifty 50 personality type are you?
The boss uncle. Is it Grootman? It's that guy.
Grootman.
Rodman,
Asvat.
what does that even mean? What is waar?
It's like, I'm a classic man. If I say man, I don't know. But like the class is there because I said I wanted to live in Cape Town, and apparently we're good to go.
So you Grootman is South Africa. Okay, well that's noted. Since it's all about... it must be. Lebo, since it's all about, the Thrifty 50 this year for Game, can you share with us, your thrifty tips in the kitchen at the moment?
I think when you get to the kitchen, number one, you always have to have a sharp knife. That's the rule. Culinary, have a sharp knife. And then have fun. I think we've been through this one before. You must have fun. You must be as creative as you can with whatever it is that you have, and then create meals out of anything.
Great tips, I'd say there. Now, listen, I've got to ask you this. So if you won the Thrifty 50 Trolley Dash, what would be the first items that you'd be throwing into your trolley, and why?
It's a birthday, so we might as well bake. So for me, it would be anything from your flour to your sugar to your cook and spray, everything that has to do with baking. And I see people entering into baking, so I'm going to throw in some tips here and there on Facebook, so they must just watch out.
Definitely. What would you throw in your trolley, Kat?
You know what? I'm tech. I love tech, eh? Well, I mean, if the new stock of the PS5 would be there somewhere on the shelves, just zip.
That's a
Zonke
good one.
bonke.
That's a good one. Lebogang, thank you so much for joining us, Namhlanje. It's always such a pleasure to have you bringing such joy and laughter into the studio.
And the great inspiration of a tequila cake. I don't think anybody's ever baked that before.
Oh, what about that? Actually, there you go. There's an idea.
It's not going to be nice. Let's not lie.
But it's going to do the job. But thank you so much. I hope that you have a fantastic morning further.
Thank you for having me.
Now, to enter the Thrifty 50 Trolley Dash competition, simply go to Game's Facebook page to complete their Thrifty 50 personality quiz. Once you've completed the quiz, all you have to do is share it on your Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter page. Remember that T's and C's do apply and can be found on expressoshow.com, and the competition runs until the 10th of July, 2020.
Yeah, and remember, if you are in a Game store from the 24th of June until the 14th of July and you spend 250 Rand or more, you can fill in your details on your till slip and then simply drop it into the competition box in store to stand a chance of winning your share of 1 million Rand in Game vouchers daily. And of course, Game stores opening hours are on Mondays to Fridays from 9 to 6, Saturdays from 9 to 5, and Sundays and public holidays from 9 to 4.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. It is indeed a motivational Monday here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're going to continue motivating you since, in fact, we started our donation to the Woolies Full Bag charity. And, of course, we continued that on Friday with Jordan and her furry little friend,
So cute, so
Miles,
cute.
completely stealing the show. Our crew challenge keeps on growing. So very special colleagues of ours, editor Tony Moyes and floor manager Chadwin Aronsa, along with their adorable son Mikey, such a little champ. They've stepped up and are doing their part to help our fellow South Africans in need. Take a look.
After watching the video of Claire and Jordan donate, it has inspired myself and my family to donate as well.
Mikey, how much are we going to donate?
Yes, so we're going to be donating 100 rand. And we challenge you too.
Challenge accepted over here, certainly without a doubt.
Yeah,
Thanks
Mikey.
to you, Mikey. Thank you to you, Chadwin, and of course, Erin. That is so beautiful. And to you, South Africa, thank you very much. We've been able so far to make a difference to thousands of citizens in need. So far, Woolies have managed to raise 962,425.
Wow.
And this is thanks to your collective effort. I mean, that is amazing. Honestly, can I have a round of
Almost a
applause for
million
that
bucks.
one?
Come on.
Yes, please.
Almost
That
$1
means
million
that
bucks. Come on.
1,552 bags have been donated, and it means that 326,245 meals are delivered. And out of their 1 million meals goal, a long way to go still, but we are making such good progress. And a huge thank you, of course, to Tony, Mikey, Chadwin for their contribution, and to all of the other people who've donated for inspiring us all to help out. And now we challenge you out there at home to do the same. Scan that QR code on your screen right now.
Thank you, thank you.
Indeed, thank you very much, South Africa, for being part of the daily difference in someone's life and joining the Fill a Bag campaign. Now, of course, we're back in the kitchen and it smells all kinds of delicious. So why not surprise your family members with a delicious chicken curry with coconut sprinkle? And this morning's mouth-watering meal can be prepared in 30 minutes, and Chef Clem is showing us exactly how to get the flavors going to elevate your chicken curry and prep for the week ahead. This is very exciting, and you said it's Monday viewer's choice.
Yeah. So I asked people on social media, what's your favorite chicken dish? And out of everything, fried chicken, like a normal roast chicken, everyone said, okay, 99% of people said chicken curry. And I was like,
right.
I get it. And then a lot of the reasoning was because it can be made in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's so satisfying. So
Lots of flavor.
Lots of flavor, but there are a couple of tricks to actually make your chicken curry in under 30 minutes.
And
you
what
ready
are
for
those?
this?
Yes,
okay,
I am
so
ready.
let's talk about this. So we're using a whole chicken, daily difference. I've broken my chicken down, right? So you get your 2 wings, your 2 breasts, your 2 legs, and your 2 thighs.
Yes, okay.
Thing is, your dark meat, which is your breast and your thigh, cook a little longer. It needs a little longer cooking time, right?
True, okay.
So to actually help us with that, I'm gonna show you now. Let's just get that breast in there so long. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna cut slits into the chicken, into the thigh and into the leg, and that's gonna help it take on a lot of flavor and cook in like a fraction of the time.
So you cook it first?
Sorry?
You cook that first?
No. That was the breast and the wings that went in.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. So for the thigh, simple, just like even one slit down the middle does a good job.
Okay, good.
That's gonna help it cook so much faster. So I actually learned this trick from the guys that make the tandoori chicken.
Yes.
So they say to me, this very demanding because you either get the leg and the thigh cut tandoori chicken, or you get the breast and the wing. But you've got to cook that over the same coals at the same time.
Very true.
That's why whenever you buy tandoori chicken, you'll always see there's a slit in the meat.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Look at how moms and grands be cooking like pros from the beginning. You know?
Yeah.
These things. And then we come in the kitchen and we think we're all fancy with our chefy techniques, but they've been doing it for since day one. All right. So then that's gonna go. You want to brown your chicken. Browning your chicken releases some of that chicken fat. There's flavor in that fat.
Yes.
I like cooking my chicken with the fat on. There's a lot of flavor in there.
Exactly.
And also it adds as it sort of caramelizes and brown, you actually extract chicken flavor from it.
Yes, exactly.
You're not using any stock.
By the way, when you are browning chicken in this manner, is it a time thing? Is it a look and see thing? you know, where you determine it's cooked to the right level,
Yeah.
so that because after this you're still going to add all the other ingredients and it's
Exactly.
going to cook further in the curry, and you don't want to overcook your chicken such that it dries out. So you got this beautiful, delicious sauce around it,
For
but
sure.
the chicken
And the
itself
gravy is what
dry.
it's about, yeah.
Exactly.
So what you want to do is you want to listen to it. You can hear it's doing this thing right now. It's popping, it's popping. It's going to kind of go a little quieter. When it's a little quieter, you know, you also start smelling it, then it's good to turn it over. Some people, they're a little scared at this point because they turn the chicken over too quickly.
Oh,
right?
yes,
Yeah, and then
okay.
you don't really do you're not doing this thing. Like, you got to like give it that time.
All right.
So let's pretend we've given it about 15 minutes.
15 minutes of
15
browning.
minutes, yeah.
Okay.
And then we turn it over. The next part is like very quick. So in you're gonna go with your onions. Because that's
Roughly
gonna
chopped.
cook. So it takes about 10 to 15 minutes browning. In with your onions, thinly sliced. So it doesn't need such a long cooking time.
Good, okay.
Then I'm not gonna spend all my time chopping garlic, chopping ginger. This is all you need to do. You go to Woolies. Okay, cool. It's got your garlic, got your ginger, got your green chili, got your turmeric.
All of it in one?
All of it in
What
one.
is it called the garlic and ginger?
It's called the garlic, ginger, chili, and turmeric pack.
Okay.
Go
here we
get
go.
that. Go get that. So what I do is I buy them, and in case you're missing them on shelf, it's me, because I buy them, and then I just freeze them.
Okay. Oh.
And then I just take it out before I need it, and it thaws out so quickly.
All of it goes
All of it.
in
All
one
of it.
time, and you've got
All of it.
all of the flavors that you need for your curry.
Exactly. So
Wow.
I'm making a Cape Malay curry, and I'm always very nervous to do this
Why?
because I've never had a bad Cape Malay curry. Ever.
Oh, okay.
They are so good. Even
Yes.
the bad ones are good. So there's something that I was told. If you're gonna make a Cape Malay curry and you're gonna add tomato to your curry, I'm gonna get put on a little island away from Cape Town.
You'd never add tomato to a Cape Malay curry.
You don't add tomato to your Cape
Why
Malay
would
curry.
you do that?
Wow. And I learned this lesson very quickly. Like, my mom also was like, what are you doing? What?
Throw
What?
that pot out.
Done.
Out
Ah.
with you and the pot.
Like,
Go
it was-
spend a day in the wilderness.
It was horrible.
Come back.
So yeah, when you make a Cape Malay curry, no tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay, it's that serious.
Lesson learned.
Okay. I've also got a Cape Malay curry spice mix.
Okay.
There's a lot of everything that you need that's in there, and it's got the whole spices in there as well, because texture is everything.
Okay.
So again, this is another one of my cheats. Another one of my cheats going in, and I like a lot of it. And then you can use coconut milk.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were about to whip out a can of tomatoes. What are you doing? What are you doing? Trying to get us in trouble.
No, not today. So this is gonna go in there. It's gonna add delicious creaminess, and it's gonna give it body, right? Then another thing from our moms, don't waste.
Don't waste it,
Don't waste.
man.
We need
Use the
water in this.
Clean up that can. Plus,
So-
it's gonna, you were gonna add water anyway.
You were gonna add water anyway.
So why not?
For sure. So, also, I've got big pots at home. Even though there's only 2 people living at home, massive pots,
Yes.
okay? Because I know I like to mess and I like to mix things and get in there, So chicken curry specifically, because I like to mix things and there's a lot that goes in there. Find your mom's biggest pot and just go crazy with it. And she's like, but you're cooking for 2. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, cool. That's going in there. Potatoes, a must. Again, if it doesn't have potatoes, it's not Cape Malay curry.
Okay.
Okay. The thing about the potatoes also, they break down and they start thickening your curry.
Oh,
They
yes.
start adding that flavor to your curry.
Because, you know, in a curry, you do want that thick kind of
Yeah.
sauce, don't you? Look at that.
And we're kind of losing the body in a sense because we're not adding tomatoes to it. But because we're adding that potato in there, it's going to break down, it's going to thicken, it's going to add that extra body to that. Also, tomato needs time to cook down. This is a 30-minute curry. There's no tomato in it. We don't need to do that. We are thinking on our feet. Okay, last thing. Taking your curry to the next level. And we're going to go with some oil going in there, canola oil. Curry leaves. That's going to start popping.
That
How amazing was
immediate.
that?
That was immediate.
That was
Okay.
immediate. This is a little sprinkle just to like jazz up your curry, because you got time. Your curry's doing its thing already. In with the onions. Keep a little bit of that garlic from the leftover. Add your garlic to that. Just give it a little mix and mix.
Yo!
That's in there. So now what we're going to do is, you want to brown your onions at this stage. And like I said, you've got time because you're busy waiting for this guy to cook down. So again, we're using our imagination today. Imagine the onions have cooked down and they're starting to turn golden brown.
All right.
Okay? Coconut sprinkle goes in. A little bit of chili goes in there. Mix. I actually got a bowl in front over there for you.
Look at that.
This is, okay, basically, after you've toasted your coconut with all those spices, a bit of extra chili, this is amazing. This you need in your life, absolutely. Chicken curry with your rice, with your sprinkle.
And you're absolutely done.
You're done.
It looks
You're done.
absolutely delightful. The family will surely enjoy this. So try it out at home, prep it for the week ahead. And if you like, make it in a massive pot and freeze it for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
You can find the recipe on our website, expressoshow.com. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And of course, we're starting off this Monday giving you that daily dose of inspiration. And of course, our words today are from an inspiring icon in the LGBT community. And yeah, it's obviously our American politician, Harvey Milk. And he was once one of the first openly gay officials in the US. And he tragically lost his life early into his career when he was assassinated for standing up for his beliefs. And he had already made an impact with policies concerning gay rights, childcare, and housing. And this is what he once had to say.
He said, burst down those closet doors once and for all and stand up and start to fight. And I think this just takes on what we were speaking about Friday, when we were celebrating Pride Day. Is like, it's a very difficult community to be in, but you have to stand up, be brave, and focus on yourself and start fighting because you have a voice, you have a platform, and you are yourself. So again, burst down those closet doors once and for all and stand up and start to fight.
Those words of inspiration definitely have gotten the feel-good going and flowing here on your Feel-Good Breakfast Show. But right now, it's time for us to have a little bit of fun. And the people have spoken and they have asked for a foodies round of the 5-second game. This morning, we are motivating our chefs to be quick on their feet. So, of course, we have our kitchen fairy, Nicole, and locked and loaded and ready to go. And our very special guest this morning, Chef Tumi, all the way from Afternoon Express. Come on, guys, give her a warm welcome. Well, the stakes are high this morning. You are playing for a box of Oma Rusk's new Yum Yum peanut butter flavor and the title as the 5-second game champ. Are you both ready?
I am. Oh my gosh.
All right, Tumi, since this is your first time playing the game, I'm going to read the rules to you. They're very easy. I'm going to ask you each a set of questions and you only have 5 seconds to answer, and the winner takes the rusks. Ooh. Okay? So Nicole is starting off the game. Nicole, name 3 green vegetables.
Broccoli, beans, pak choy.
I love that one. I've never heard of the third one, but I trust you. Chef Tumi, name 3 fruits you can peel.
Peach, apple, and watermelon.
Right on time. Nicole, name 3 celeb chefs.
Zola Nene, Gordon Ramsay, and Heston Blumenthal.
On time. You were hesitating there for a second. I was worried. Chef Tumi, this one is yours. Name 3 South African dishes.
Mpokoko, ngushu, mukhod.
All of my favorites. I wish I could give you an extra point for mentioning all of them. Nicole, this one is for you. Name 3 foods that are crunchy.
Oh, I would say oat crunchies, biscuit,
Nicole, you're still in the game, don't you worry. Dumi, you are clearly leading if you get this one right. Dumi, name 3 things you can eat with peanut butter.
Oma rusks, bread, and apple.
Oh, right on time. Okay, Nicole, it's very clear that Dumi's leading by 1 point. So from now on, you need to get all of them correct. Okay. Nicole, name your 3 guilty pleasures.
Chocolate, ice cream, sourworms.
Yes, 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 girl. Same here. Chef Tumi, name 3 foods you don't eat.
Mopani worms, pawpaw, and avocado.
Aima.
What?
I need to subtract a point for avocado because what do you mean, girl? I love it. Come on now. Guys upstairs.
I eat everything.
This one is for you, Nicole. Name 3 dishes using an egg.
Omelets, quiche, and creme brulee.
Woo! Got that one right. Chef Tumi, are you ready?
I am.
Name 3 ways to cook chicken.
Roast, grill, and fry.
Ooh, that was so easy. Chef Tumi's on the roll this morning. Nicole, this is your last question, okay?
Okay.
Name 3 things you can find in an Oma's kitchen.
Oh, rice, gravy powder, and packet soup.
I was waiting for biscuit, but okay. You got that one right. Chef Tumi, if you get this one right, you are the winner. All right? Name 3 things you can do in the kitchen.
Eat, cook, and wash dishes.
Love it. Well, just like that, Chef Tumi from Afternoon Express takes this one. Congratulations, but well done to you, Nicole Snelling. She's our kitchen fairy, and for that, I'm giving her 3 extra points. I'm kidding. The Oma rusks are for you, but you can share.
Yeah, you
share
share.
here. We're a family.
Split
We're a
it.
family. Now it's a brand new week and a brand new chance for you to win with Oma rusks in our 24-hour dipping challenge. This week, we want you to send us your movie night dip photos. You know, those moments where the whole fam is wrapped up under the blankets on the couch watching some TV with some rusks and tea. Well, post your photos on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter page to enter, and you could win one of 3 coffee plunges and Oma rusk hampers worth 500 rands. The competition closes on Thursday at 11 a.m. and the terms and conditions can be found on expressoshow.com. Happy entering.
With Oma Rusks, it's always dipping time. From the first thing in the morning right through to that midnight snack in bed. What is your favorite dipping time?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back, gang. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. It really has been a motivational Monday so far, so let's continue on that trend. We're here to inspire you to make quick and easy meals within 30 minutes today. That's the challenge we've set for ourselves. So a classic quiche is a simple fuss-free dish with all the goodness of Clover Fresh Milk, and you can add just about any filling that your little heart desires to make a tasty quiche. And our biltong and pepper dew version is a recipe I think you'll want to try regularly. Chef Chumi.
Yes, sir.
First of all, congratulations on your big win, on your massive win, your title for 2020 as 5-second challenge winner. You were dominant and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Now you're going to show us what you really can do.
Yes, because I couldn't leave the show without showing you a delicious recipe now.
This is funky, 2 flavor profiles that I absolutely love. I mean, who doesn't love biltong?
Of course.
And I see this, by the looks of it, is the Woolies Angus beef biltong, which has got such beautiful marbling on it. The flavor there is amazing.
And the
beautiful stuff.
Yes, and the best part about it is that because we're going to bake it in this custard, egg custard for the quiche, it actually becomes even more tender.
Ooh.
Nice and juicy, so it literally just falls apart in your mouth.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's start me at the beginning. What do we need to do to make a quiche? It's egg-based, as we learned in the 5-second challenge.
Yes, and we need a liquid. In this case, we're going to be using our tasty clover milk.
Okay.
So we're going to, this is basically the wet ingredients, the wet part of it, because we need it to sit in the oven. So it's
Okay.
going to bake. The egg is going to help it hold together, and then the milk just adds that creamy taste to it. And obviously the rest of the
Lovely.
ingredients that we have is we've got the biltong, we've got our cheese, and we've actually got, it's called picante peppers, not pepper dew.
Not pepper dews.
Yes.
I know there was like a legal battle ensued after it because we had kind of either misappropriated the name or I think many South Africans feel that it's a pepper dew and we're allowed to call it a pepper dew. But no, it's picante peppers.
Picante
But
peppers,
they're characterized with a very beautiful sweet flavor. Hey?
Correct, correct. They're nicely pickled and they give you this beautiful tangy flavor. And when you eat them, I know people that actually eat them
Just summer, yeah. Oh, no, I'll be one of those people.
All right, so we're going in. Normally, a quiche would be made with short crust pastry. But because we're all about making things quicker and easier, we don't have time on our hands.
30 minutes, yo.
Yes, so we want to make sure that it's quick. So all we're doing now is we're going to brush our phyllo pastry. We're using phyllo pastry now. And we're just going to brush so that this actually holds together. And we, like, as you can see, I'm not trying to be too
Quick and
fancy.
easy, layer it up. No, I think it looks beautiful. The end result. I mean, it doesn't even look that rustic. It looks like you really had to try hard to be able to create this kind of effect.
Yeah, and all we're doing is we're bringing out the artsy part of ourselves. We all have that little
100%.
artist hidden in there.
Even in the look of it, with the combination of colors, it's pretty artistic.
Exactly.
But maybe there's something in this. I mean, I enjoy it. It took me a while to get onto quiche. Never been a massive quiche fan, but when you find the right combination of flavors in that quiche, that's when maybe you get one over. But I quite like the idea of a base like this and having this kind of crunch to go with that texture, to go with the eggy filling. I think that's brilliant.
I was telling someone that the one thing I love about quiche, I call it the everything but the kitchen sink dish. Because you could put whatever you like.
And it's great, saltier, it's nice cold as well. I love it, absolutely love it. For me, my best is quiche and salad. Like for some reason, I've got to have like a really nice side salad when I have my quiche, then I'm winning. And so much so, like even the salad dressing or those oils can even kind of run into the quiche vibe, and it just, I don't know, that's just me. It's something that I love in summer. It's fresh, it's beautiful, but there's no reason why you can't turn it into comfort food and have it piping hot as it comes out the oven on a cold day.
And this is basically all we do. We mix all our ingredients together, pop them into our pie dish, make sure we spread it all nicely. And what's going to happen is the cheese is going to melt together with the egg. Everything is just basically going to give everything a hug. It's a whole lot of love happening in there. And then you just sprinkle our parsley. And then we're also going to top it with a bit more parsley when it comes out of the oven.
Just for a fresh
and this is
element.
literally it.
Wow, I haven't been timing you, but it ain't 30 minutes, I'll tell you that much. So how long does it need to set?
It just goes into the oven at 190 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. That is it.
That's it.
That
I'm going to say 25 to 29 minutes. So you've got 30 seconds to still take it out. How do you know if it's done?
Basically, once you shake it, if it comes out of the oven and it's still a bit wobbly, I'd suggest to people take it out after that 30 minutes because it's still going to set.
Because the egg really does keep cooking. We know this. Okay.
So 30 minutes is more than enough.
So I have a firm wobble, not too much wobble.
No, you don't want it to be too runny, obviously.
That's beautiful. You can find this full recipe on expressoshow.com if you want to emulate. But as Chef Tumi has said, try different flavors, anything but the kitchen sink. Have a little bit of fun with that. Create all kinds of different flavor profiles and do it all in under 30 minutes. It's simple, it's easy, and it's bag loads of flavor. Let's take you through exactly how we created our beautiful picante pepper and biltong quiche.
Made with love by Clover.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
All right, it's time for us to chat
all right.
sports right now. Yes, the sporting weekend offered a lot of excitement from 734 teams that started in the competition. Only 4 remain now in the FA Cup with those semi-final spots now cemented, and of course also action from New Zealand in the Aotearoa.
Aotearoa.
Aotearoa. You got to say
finally
it.
Get it. Yeah, you got to say it with a bit of yes.
Yeah, we got our friend Mr. Jeremy Harris, our friend in sports, joining us via live call. It must feel good to be back in the pound seats, reporting.
To have a
on
job again,
sports
buddy.
things.
Good to see the two of you. Are you well?
Very well, thanks,
very
man,
good,
very
man.
well.
All the better for seeing your beautiful face, man. I'm sure, like the rest of us, you are relishing having live sports again. Albeit, yes, just a little bit of rugby, but we are being treated to some beautiful rugby in New Zealand. But it's starting to look more and more like a two-horse race. Let's kick it off with the Blues. I know the Crusaders. Probably the bookies' favourite at this stage, but you've got to say the way that the Blues are playing 3 from 3, this is a side that could challenge, but it's definitely a two-horse race.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say I'm a little bit surprised at the fact that the Chiefs are winless. That was a bit of a red flag for me, but take nothing away from the Blues. And as you say, Graham, it's a two-horse race. It's probably going to...
All right, seems we might be having a bit of a technical difficulty right there, trying to reconnect back with Jeremy Harris. We will be connecting with him again. But yes, like you were saying, the Blues looking very, very strong in the competition indeed. 3 out of 3.
Yeah, completely. I suppose Bowden Barrett's still probably the biggest talking point in the team. Still no Dan Carter back. Bring Dan Carter back. We want to see him playing on that field. But for me, Rico Ione was absolutely superb. Are you back with us, son?
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No, man. We've missed you so much when you leave us like that. You don't understand. The separation anxiety kicks in, man. Just looking at that opening encounter with the Blues, I was saying Rico Ione absolutely on fire for me, especially under that high ball, man.
Yes, I mean, look, he's always done really well. It's been the kind of high octane kind of environment that he's really, so he tends to lift his game, and he is one of those players with that X factor.
And then taking a look at the Crusaders versus Chiefs game there over there. I mean, from last week, I think we kind of set the tone that the Crusaders would be very dominant in the competition, but this one a very close victory for them, 18-13 versus the Chiefs.
Yes, again, I think that the Chiefs will look at the start to the match. I watched most of that game, and it was a slow start. They finished very strongly. I'm sure the Crusaders must have been having a few moments of anxiety because the Chiefs came back at them quite strong. But a really good polished performance at the end of the day. Richie Mahonga really looking good, and underpinning his star status as well.
Yeah, I think all the All Blacks standing up. Stevie Reese, absolutely amazing under the high ball there. But Will Jordan scoring twice. And an arm wrestle. Sam Cane said it himself. It really was an arm wrestle where, literally whoever was able to capitalize on those finer moments was able to get it through. But the Crusaders probably looking like, out-and-out favourites, yes, because of the All Black component. But if we look at, as you said, the Chiefs now lost 3 from 3. The Hurricanes have lost 2 from 2. Highlanders have 1 win and 1 loss. Do you think that this is going to be that two-horse race, that we're not really going to see these other teams? Because obviously they don't play in a final. It's going to be whoever ends top with the most points wins. Do you think this is going to start to become quite, I'll say, one-sided with those top 2 teams?
Look, I think that if you've lost a couple of games, particularly in the case of the Chiefs, where they've lost 3 in a row now, and it's been just, they talk about the bounce of the ball, and when you lose those games like that with those kinds of margins, it's very difficult to make it up. So I think to answer your question, Graham, I think it's going to be between the Blues and the Crusaders. I suppose if you're a Blues fan, pleasantly surprised by their performance. I would have thought that it would have been the Crusaders who would have been dominating, but I think it's going to be between the Crusaders and the Blues at the end of the day.
All right, man. Of course, Jeremy, let's talk a bit of FA Cup action from this past weekend. I think it served up some great football indeed. Manchester United going through into the semi-finals against Norwich City. Igalo with a cheeky little finish over there, and the finishing touch provided by Captain Fantastic Harry Maguire, who solidified himself now as
well, he was
as
brilliant in
devil,
defence.
right?
He had a couple of clearances. He was amazing. But he is the most expensive, is he not? The defender in the history of the game. So he had to make good.
Hey, Rio.
That was a fantastic, opportunistic goal there, but look out for that young man, Todd Cantwell.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Just look out for that guy when he gets bought out by a team, when Norwich get dropped back to League One.
There he is, look at that.
And then Maguire.
And United are through. What did you make of that encounter?
Look, I thought that as in tough games, it doesn't really matter what your position on the league table is. And I mean, we know Norwich struggling just a wee bit, and you would have expected United just to walk all over them. But tough encounters do that. They sort of give the smaller minnow teams an opportunity to sort of strut their stuff. And Norwich made it difficult for United. They didn't go away sort of quietly and quickly. They made it difficult. It required a moment of special football from Maguire. And I think that probably on balance, United deserves a win. But I tell you, there will be few people who will argue against a Norwich sort of upset win on that day. But as it turns out, United are the ones into the semi-finals.
Okay, let's quickly squeeze in one. I wanted to gloss over this game because it's pretty inconsequential ultimately, but we might as well just throw it in there. Sheffield United up against Arsenal. When you look at the stats here, Sheffield, they really didn't lie down. They actually had more shots in the division. A brilliant, again, opportunistic goal there by Goldrick, but of solidifying that opportunity next season.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think Arsenal have been a little bit sort of stop-start, warm and cold in terms of their performance of late. So that's probably a lot to do with why they didn't look very convincing this past weekend. But to your point, Graham, experience is something that also counts for a couple of points here and there. And in a tough competition like this, when passion is getting thrown at a particular game, you can also throw experience at it. And I think that's what Arsenal fell back on. They fell back on their experience.
Here we go.
But did you hear what he said there? It was pretty lackluster, boring performance.
Listen,
by
it's all right.
Arsenal.
We'll take it.
The take home there was pretty lackluster.
Don't worry about that.
We love you, Jeremy
Come on,
Harris, man. We love you, buddy. Thank you so much. Really appreciate connecting with you again, man. I'll tell you where they did miss the fans, St James's Park. Newcastle could have used that fanfare, the Geordie army behind them as they went down to Manchester City 2-0 ultimately. But more football on action tonight. We've got Crystal Palace up against Burnley, in fact, hosting Burnley at Selhurst Park. But the one you want to watch this week is going to be Manchester City hosting our new champions, Liverpool. They're having to give them the guard of honour when they walk onto the field.
Grudge match. Grudge match for days. Let us know what are some of your highlights from the past week in sporting action.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's take a final look at those news headlines. We start off here in South Africa, where the South African National Taxi Council, SANTACO, yesterday, they announced it is to defy coronavirus lockdown regulations and operate 100% loads in all its taxis. SANTACO has since been joined by the National Taxi Alliance. Level 3 lockdown regulations stipulate that taxis are only supposed to load 70% of each vehicle's capacity. And Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula said he will meet with the taxi associations this week after meetings were postponed 3 times in the past 2 days. He said he is awaiting feedback from the National COVID Command Council. A series of innovative floating plastic litter booms has been put into use in Cape Town's waterways to collect waste that otherwise would have dispersed into the ocean or potentially become hazardous for those living along the riverbanks. The booms have so far been rolled out along the city's Black River system, which can overflow with tons of plastic every year into the sea at Podden Island. The efforts form part of a public-private partnership between the City of Cape Town and 2 NGOs, the Litter Boom Project and Pristine Earth Collective. In international news, Jamaica's Governor-General Patrick Allen will no longer wear a royal insignia that depicts the Archangel St. Michael trampling Satan, who is drawn with a dark skin. Allen, the British monarchy's representative in Jamaica, said he is suspending the personal use of the insignia of the Order of St. Michael and St. George because of its offensive implications. Satan, depicted as a dark-skinned man under the foot of a white archangel, recently caused anger in Jamaica. The UK orders recognize service in a foreign country or in relation to foreign and Commonwealth affairs. Ethiopia says it's on schedule to begin filling the controversial mega dam on the Blue Nile River, but vouched to try resolving its dispute with downstream neighbors Egypt and Sudan. The two countries are worried about access to vital water supplies from the Nile. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is set to be Africa's largest hydroelectric project and has been a source of tension in the Nile basin over that area ever since Ethiopia broke ground on it nearly a decade ago. The Nile is a lifeline supplying both water and electricity to the 10 countries it snakes through. And now, news of pride marches around the world. Well, the coronavirus pandemic may have put paid to this month's traditional pride marches, but that didn't stop people from celebrating, with hundreds of socially distancing rallies taking place around the world. Taiwan hosted one of the biggest pride marches as the island's LGBTQ+ community and their supporters took to the streets, and hundreds of people marched inside Taipei's Liberty Square holding placards with the names of major global cities that have not been able to celebrate Pride Month this June because of COVID-19. Thailand has had just over 440 infections and 7 deaths, with more than 2 months of no local transmissions. And this year marks the 50th anniversary of the first Pride marches in the USA. In London, activists walked along the cancelled Pride route to celebrate the 50 years of the Gay Liberation Front, while a separate Black Trans Lives Matters protests marched through the city to celebrate Black transgender people. And in Berlin, Germany, thousands took part in an anti-homophobia rally, wearing masks and observing social distancing. And now taking a glimpse into the world of entertainment, the Pirates of the Caribbean cinematic universe is about to add another title to its many installments. Australian actress Margot Robbie is set to star in the new female-fronted Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which won't be a spin-off of the Johnny Depp-driven films about the Captain Jack Sparrow and his whole crew, but of course a wholly original story with new characters, inspired by the Disney ride itself. Now, Disneyland fans are already speculating that Robbie could play Red, a wench-turned-pirate from the original attraction. And in addition to this, to another separate reboot that was reported upon last year, it will be the 6th or the 7th film spun on the ride, depending on when it releases. Now, while some may say that that may be a pirate overload, we can't wait to see the incredible Margot Robbie force men to walk the plank. And on that Margot Robbie note, still coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast show, you're going to be seeing a story of this incredible koala bear that's made a friend at a zoo there. We'll see you after this.
Okay. So I'm chatting to Umalume Musa here. He's owned a small clothing factory for years now, and he's always inspired me with his success. But like a lot of businesses, this lockdown's hit him hard. So he spoke to his banker, and they've put together a tailor-made relief solution for him to help his business and his people get through this. Making your bank your business partner, that's a habit worth keeping.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Oh, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. You know what that means when you see me in the office. It's time to shake and bake. And of course, with it being Monday Motivation on Expresso this morning, we're here to get you off your bums and inspired to break a sweat from the comfort of your very own home. And joining me, of course, this morning is the beautiful Jamie Lee Domberg, who has also worked hard at keeping fit at home. Jamie, your journey has been nothing but inspiration. I know you love these high-tempo workouts. And is it a favorite of yours? Is it something you're always incorporating in your style?
I love it because for 30 seconds you're burning and then you get a the time to rest, because I feel like sometimes you do for 30 minutes, you get bored and it becomes monotonous. So you know for like a short amount of time, you're pushing, you're giving it your all, and then you get 15 seconds of rest where you can recover, catch your breath, and then just sweat it out.
There you have it, guys. Jamie Lee Domberg giving to you this morning, Monday. It's your inspiration. You guys have no excuse whatsoever. So what we're going to be doing now is exactly that. It's a high-tempo workout, and we're going to be doing 30 seconds on of cardio, high-explosive cardio. We brought ourselves some skipping ropes, and if you guys don't have a skipping rope at home, don't sweat, don't fret. We got you covered. As always, you're more than welcome to substitute your skipping with anything like high knees or butt kicks. But Jamie and I, we're kicking it into full tilt here. We're going to go for 30 seconds of skipping. Jamie, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's shake and bake, everybody at home. If you're joining us, make sure when you are skipping, making sure you maintain good form. So that means keeping your core engaged, number one. Number two, you want to really set your scap on your back as well. So your back is nice and tight, my core is engaged, and as you can see, I'm standing nice and tall and proud, and I'm keeping my chest up. And that'll get you your first 30 seconds of your warm-up and into the flow of this workout. So Jamie, you can put your skipping rope down, and now we're going to start to have some fun, guys. And we're doing something that involves high tempo. It's going to kill the fat, but at the same time, we're not going to have a lot of impact, and that's why I love kettlebell so much. It reduces the impact, it limits any inflammation on the joints, but you're still getting that conditioning, that metabolic rate is kicking into high gear. And let's start off with a high pull. So what we're going to do is stimulate both the quads, the legs, as well as the back and the arms and the shoulders, and it's a very smooth, fluid flow. All right, so you're going to pick your kettlebell up, right, guys, making sure once again that we're in a nice neutral position. Our back is nice and stable, it's not arched, and of course we're going to go down nice and low. Once you bring the kettlebell down and low, you're going to slightly lift it up with your glutes and then try catch it with the other arm, and you're going to pull that arm straight up above you, and you're going to feel your lats working. As you lower it down, you're going to lift it up, and again you're going to go over to the other side. All right, so we're going to speed it up so you guys can see how this looks.
Okay.
30 seconds,
Ready?
Jamie, let's go for it. There we go. So you can see what we're doing. It's nice and fluid, and I'm playing with the kettlebell. So I'm lowering it down with my legs, nice and eccentrically. I'm keeping the tempo up, so we're moving nice and fast. As you can see, Jamie's got extra form by getting that specific pull on her arm, and she's getting that lat engagement. And wow, guys, it's been about 20 seconds in already, and I am sweating. I don't know about you, Jamie.
You can't see it, I'm sweating internally.
I like that. That's the good side. That means the fat's sweating when you're sweating inside. Anyway, okay, so that's your first exercise. You want to hit that for 30 seconds once again, and then you're going to go over into a 30-second break, and then you're going for your skipping. All right, so skip, exercise, 30-second break. Skip, exercise, 30-second break. All right, so after that skipping, we're moving on to exercise number 2. And now this is a fun and a complex one, so I want you guys to pay close attention to this. Starting off with a snatch, all right, Jamie? So you've done this before. What we're gonna do is from the ground, we're gonna explosively lift the weight straight above our shoulders in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So that's your snatch, all right? Using your glutes to throw you up, using your shoulder. Whoa. I can't even speak, I'm out of breath.
I don't even want to speak. I'm just like, just be quiet, just go through it.
You're the smart one in this workout. Well played, all right. So once you finish the snatch, you're going straight down to the ground. Now it becomes technical. From the ground, we're going to lift it over our head, and we're going to include a reverse lunge. So Jamie and I will show you on 3, 2, 1, going up. Reverse lunge while the weight's above our shoulders. That's going to give you the reverse lunge snatch. And then in this position, one press into the air, work those shoulders in the core, and then straight down to your shoulder once again. Now we're using the glutes to push ourselves back up. Bang. That's the one side down. Now let's move over to the other side, all right? So bringing it down, left hand now. One more time before we pick the tempo up. So into that snatch, then lower it straight down to the ground. Now we're going for that reverse lunge with the press. Beautiful form, girl. And now straight into a press once again, into the air, back on that shoulder, and squeezing that glute. Let's go for 4 reps in total, Jamie. Let's show them how we do this.
Okay, let's do this.
All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Snatch, straight down. Reverse lunge with a press, and now another press, and then straight up into the air. Lovely, let's go for the other side now. Switching over, let's go for that snatch. Nice and explosive, use your glutes, back down. Now reverse lunge with a press, beautiful. Now a single press, back down, and squeeze that glute. Beautiful form, Jamie. I'm loving your
I am
workout.
sweating, guys. I'm sweating so much.
It's so weird, guys. It's ice cold. It's freezing outside, but yet you can see our metabolic rate has skyrocketed. And we've got one more workout for you guys to try. And this is a nice, fast, explosive one, using the shoulders, using the legs, using the core, and everything else. Don't forget, you got to skip just before this. But let's go, Jamie. So we're going for straight cross through punches, all right? So picking
Let
the
me
weight
just
up.
tell everyone at home this one is a bit difficult. It gets a bit tricky, so I'm going to modify this one.
All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is, I've got the kettlebell in my left hand. I'm gonna transfer it to my right hand and continue with a punch straight through. So I'm getting that energy line from the ground all the way through to my arm. So watch this, left hand, and I press it up straight in front of me. All right, nice and explosive, lowering that weight down and then doing the same thing on the other side. Pressing up straight in front of me, nice and explosive. Keep your control, keep your form. Lower it straight back to the ground. Jamie, you wanna try 4 in total, 2 each side?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's do it together. Teamwork, 3, 2, 1, let's go. 1, yeah, nice. Let's go for number 2. Yeah, number 3. Beautiful form, girl. Last one coming up. And number 4, bang. Bombs, Uncle Jamie Lee Dombeck, that was incredible. Well done, girl. I can clearly see you are inspiration for this Monday. And to the rest of you all, let us know how this workout goes. Clearly, we've broken a sweat, but I think we've worked up our appetite. Quickly, Adams, what is cooking in the kitchen, girl?
You guys have been working so hard. I'm so proud of both of you. Shout out to you, Jamie, for handling all of that like a champ. What? Did you see them breaking a sweat?
I'm so glad that this is where we do our workout.
This is our
This is
little
me.
workout.
I'm here. I'm here.
I can't wait to just, wow, it's a lot. No, I'm kidding. Now, before we get to cooking, Woolies, along with the gift of the givers, are distributing food care packages to families in need. Now, each bag is filled with a balance of protein, fresh fruit, vegetables, and other staples, as well as hygiene products to help cope the spread of COVID-19. Now, think about this. As little as 10 Rand can help provide one person with 3 meals for a day. Now, if you're motivated to get involved, just scan the code on the screen with the SnapScan app or your banking app and donate today. Any amount will help and will make a big difference in someone's life. And also just remember to encourage your friends, your family, your neighbors, colleagues, and chat groups to just simply do the same. I just had to remind our viewers back home before we get into this awesome mouth-watering recipe, just to take a second to think about, the next person, if they are taken care of,
Absolutely.
if they are fed,
Absolutely.
One less thing for them to worry about, particularly during this, global pandemic. Chef Clem, it's pretty obvious what we're making here, what we are gathered here to do. I'm seeing broccoli, I'm seeing cauliflower, I'm seeing chicken schnitzel.
And again, this is something so simple but so satisfying. Sometimes it's the easiest things that actually just deliver all the comfort, all the satisfaction. This is the dish.
And I think you've mentioned that you can achieve this entire meal under 30 minutes.
Under 30 minutes. And I love it. Again, this is our second chicken dish for the day. But again, the first dish was our chicken curry, viewer's choice. And the second one is actually the broccoli, cauliflower, and cheese sauce. A while back, I asked, what's your favorite vegetable dish? Everybody was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So viewer's choice Monday, this is what you wanted, and it's here.
It is here. We have delivered.
Let's start with this one. So I've got my broccoli and I've got my cauliflower. We're gonna keep it nice and chunky. Like I said, that's the rule for life. Keep it nice and chunky. And that way you're not gonna break down the vegetable too much. You actually can taste the vegetable, feel the vegetable, which is very, very important.
Also the crunch. That's
The
what we
crunch.
want.
The crunch. Okay, so this is called a cauliflower steak. And you get why it's called a steak, right? It totally looks like it's the size of a steak. And this for me is the best way to roast your cauliflower. Because you get nice char, but you don't lose that texture on it. It keeps it nice and chunky.
And one thing that Uji mentioned earlier on when he came to pay us a visit here in the kitchen is that he loves the char on, the cauliflower.
For sure. For sure. There we go. I can hear him in the background. Yeah. You must. Then it has to be brown before you chow down. That's the rule. That's the rule. Okay, so then, same thing with our broccoli. Keep it nice and chunky. Keep it as thick as you can.
So just slices of broccoli, basically.
Yeah, so what I like about cauliflower and broccoli is they cook the same time. So you can get it into this big dish. I mean, what you want to try and do is use a bigger dish so they can all get the same amount of love coming from the heat from the oven. Okay, so to that, very important, little bit of olive oil. Very important, little bit of olive oil. I'll say actually going to char and go bitter. You don't want that. You want it to have enough fat on there so it caramelizes properly.
Proper flavor.
Proper flavor. Salt and pepper, because again, the difference between a good dish and a great dish is just seasoning.
Yeah.
So make sure you get enough salt and pepper on there.
And I love how it's so simple to just season it.
Yeah, for sure. From a height always, so it gets a nice even distribution, because as soon as you start going like this, you're just focusing on one spot. So it's not just to be fancy. We do it from a height.
It's a chef's trick.
It's a chef's trick. So then this goes to the oven.
For how long?
I'd say for about 20 minutes. It really does cook very quickly, and you don't want to overcook it too much because then you start losing that texture that we worked so hard to keep. So all of this little bits, don't waste it. Chuck it in your roasting dish as well. Or if you've got a compost heap, chuck it in there.
One time.
One time.
We're sustainable here on the show.
We are so sustainable. Okay, cool. So that's done. Let's work on that cheese sauce. The schnitzels sort themselves out. I mean, we got the schnitzels from Daily Difference. We also got our cheese from Daily Difference.
Yes.
What do? You just put it on a tray and you put it in the oven.
And you're done.
Done. Woolies did it for you. Okay, cool.
You know what? I'm so lazy. I would put in the broccoli and the chicken schnitzel at the same time in the oven.
You know what you can also do? Like, same dish. You're saying same dish.
Same dish.
Why not? Why
Yes.
not? Get one dish, broccoli, cauliflower, schnitzel, everything, so you can pour the cheese sauce over everything, and then you don't, no plate. We need to take it out.
Just from the...
You sit down, and it's just
Okay.
kuchle and TV, and you just sit there with the whole thing. Why not? It's just you. Is it just you?
It's just me.
It's just kuchle. So do it, for sure. Okay. Cheese sauce.
Yes.
One of the first things they teach you to make in chef school. It's the easiest thing in the world, but so many people get it wrong.
I'm one of those people who gets it wrong, Chef Clem.
I was very sneaky. You know how I got my fiance?
How?
We were in the restaurant together and I was like, I'll teach you to make a cheese sauce. Boom, we're engaged today.
What?
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Someone could just teach me how to make cheese sauce as well.
But is it an ending that you want with a happily ever after?
A happily ever after, man, Chef Clem. I deserve it.
You deserve it. Why not? Okay, butter going in. Then I'm adding some flour. The most important thing here, right, is you need to start whisking. If you don't start whisking, you're gonna get lumps, right? And you want to cook the flour out. People go, what does that mean? You put the flour in, why must I cook it out? Flour, it's obviously powdery and floury.
Yes.
You don't want that in your sauce. The reason we add the flour is to thicken your sauce. So you mix, and you'll start smelling something smelling a little nutty. Then you know you've cooked the flouriness, the powderiness out of your flour. It takes about a minute, and it's very important you keep on whisking.
And then how much butter is in there?
Thank you for the question. You use equal parts butter to flour by weight.
Okay.
So,
What does that mean in layman's terms?
Just easy. So what you do is, if you take 4 tablespoons of butter, do 4 tablespoons of flour. Sorry, not by weight, by measurement. So yeah, that's the easiest way. And that's gonna give you exactly what you need. So I'm gonna fast forward right now, and I'm gonna go with bay leaves. Bay leaves, at this stage, just add like a nice, beautiful, like floral, earthy note to it. Now I use bay leaves a lot. You should always have that at home.
And milk?
Milk going in. Milk goes in gradually, okay? Also right now in South Africa, I'm actually an awkward lefty, so let me just swap. So milk you start adding, and every time you add, you stir, and then you must always remember that your sauce is only going to thicken when it starts bubbling, so you can increase that heat. So before you go and add extra flour or anything to this to kind of like thicken it up again, give it a chance to first bubble, because then you'll see what the actual thickness is. So we're mixing. I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit. One of our other flavors we're gonna add is nutmeg. You can buy it ground, or you can buy it just like this, which it looks like a little nut, okay? It's got so much flavor. And apparently, if you eat a ridiculous amount of this, you'll start seeing things. It's an hallucinogen, but also you have to eat so much of it before it actually works. We'll test it on Tabzi, is he here? We'll test it on him later, but just all that, it's beautiful, eh?
That is such a rich
It's
flavor.
so rich.
I love it.
So I'm gonna grate a whole lot of this later and ask Uncle Tabzi if he will just experiment for us. But a little bit goes a long way.
Bring back your results.
You'll bring back results. A little bit goes a very long way, but it's something traditional in your cheese sauce. So that goes in, especially mac and cheese. Like if you look at OG mac and cheese recipes, you'll see that they've got they've got nutmeg in it.
And this is normal milk.
Normal
Fresh
milk.
milk.
Normal fresh milk.
Okay.
You can be fancy and go half milk, half cream, but secretly we're all trying to lose weight this winter right now.
Low-key.
Because even though it's lockdown, we still want to, you know? Okay, so then mustard going in, and the mustard just adds like a very beautiful tang to your sauce at the end, and that's gonna thicken up. And that's like a chef's secret, using mustard. And you can see it, You can see it's thickened up already, so I'll hit it with some more milk.
And then when are we putting in the cheese?
Friend, right now.
Oh, okay.
So, like I said, on promo, Daily Difference, you can either get this one, or you can get the big brick cheese right now. I call it brick cheese because it's shape of a brick. And it's Cheese Festival right now, so get it.
Love it.
So the thing about the cheese is you want to add it gradually, because if you add all at once, they all clump together. They come together. Cheese loves cheese, so they come together and they just hug each other, and then you have to work even harder to break it down. So mix. You add it gradually. I will add like this whole bag because I don't care.
So
It's okay.
basically, while our chicken schnitzel is in the oven, our broccoli is in the oven, we are whisking away.
Whisking away, that's quickly. It comes together so quickly. Let's plate up. Very, very easy. Got our schnitzels right here.
Yum. Now, while we are plating our chicken schnitzel right now, make sure to head on over to our website, expressoshow.com, to get your hands on this incredibly mouth-watering recipe.
South Africa, you asked for this. This is your recipe.
And there you go.
So, okay. So this is, remember why the cheese
That's
cheese
the
sauce
end
sits?
result.
It gets thicker. So just like drizzle that over.
Oh, wow.
You can pop this back in the oven again so the cheese sauce can like get an extra bubble on it. But friends, this is how you do, like Monday.
Salt and pepper for taste. And voila.
One for you, one for me.
We're done.
We're done.
Just like that, head over to expressoshow.com to get your hands on this awesome recipe. While we eat, after the break, Chef Clem, where are we going?
Down under.
We're going down under. You don't want to miss out.
Thank you, thank you.
Are you tired of conference calls and connectivity problems? Need to go on-site or be in the boardroom? Well, Mango are soaring the skies once again. As we navigate through this new normal, businesses need to recover, and Mango cares about business. For affordable and reliable business travel, visit www.flymango.com. Go discover more. Go Mango. Book now. Terms and conditions apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
By now, you should know that we love our nature stories here on Expresso. This morning, we bring you a story all the way from down under in Australia. As with many countries, their zoos were closed to the public because of the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. But a surprising friendship has since developed between a koala and a wombat at the Australian Reptile Park in Somersby. So when zookeepers put Elsa the koala and Hope the wombat in an enclosure together, it didn't take long for them to become very good buddies and subsequent lockdown BFFs. Now, Jake Meany, one of the zookeepers from the Australian Reptile Park, joins us to tell us a little bit more about this rather unusual pairing and really cool story. Jake, a very good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Fantastic, man. And I'm going to ask you straight off the bat to introduce us to your furry little friend there.
So he is sitting on my shoulder. I'm going to try and get her to look at you guys, but this is Elsa. She's a koala. She's a bit distracted at the moment, but I'm sure her face will make an appearance at some point.
I'll expect the oohs and ahs to resonate across the studio. It just looks incredible.
Here she comes.
Oh, man. Oh, just too sweet,
She's
man.
so cute.
Oh, man, I love my job, but you might have one of the best jobs in the world, Jake, I think, especially when you get stories like this emerging. So how unusual is this? Would you expect a friendship to develop between a wombat and a koala? How does something like this come about, and were you really surprised to see the connection they made?
Yeah, well, in the wild, a koala and a wombat are really not going to come into contact with one another. One's in the tree and one's on the ground. But in actual fact, they're very closely related species. And as a result, in captivity, they seem to kind of be drawn to one another and get on quite well. So what we've been doing with little Hope the wombat is actually allowing her to run around on the ground in the koala exhibit, and Elsa and Hope have become quite close during that time.
So how do they interact? I'm picturing them kind of sitting down, having a little tea, you know, maybe sharing a story too. What sort of interaction? How do they connect?
Well, obviously the wombat, it can't climb trees, so it's all up to Elsa to make the move and come down. So what she'll do is come down when Hope's running around on the ground, and basically they'll kind of get up next to each other, and sometimes they kind of rub up against each other. They'll touch their noses together.
Oh,
it's very, very cute.
Oh, man, just too sweet for words. Now, I know this is a beautiful, warm, fluffy story, but I understand that both these animals have had pretty tough beginnings to their lives, with both having been hand-raised by your incredible team to ensure their survival. Can you tell us a bit more about their origin stories?
Yeah, absolutely. So Elsa, the koala here, she was actually born here at the reptile park. We have quite a number of joey koalas born every year, and typically they'll stay with mum and things go smoothly. But unfortunately, in this case, for this girl, her mum developed mastitis, could no longer really look after the baby here. So what happened is the keepers stepped in and actually began to hand raise Elsa herself. Basically, just like mum would, they will feed the koala around the clock, make sure that it's well cared for. And now she's just over a year old, and she's doing really, really well. Nice, big, healthy little female koala. The wombat Hope, a little bit of a different story. She was actually born in the wild, and very unfortunate, her mother was hit by a car on the road.
Oh.
And when that happens, often the joey will survive, but eventually die because it has no mother. Now, fortunately, someone found the joey and was able to bring her to us, and then we began rearing her, and she's doing really well as well. Just celebrated her first birthday.
Oh, man, so you're running, of sorts, a little animal creche, and it's going really, really well. They are just absolutely beautiful. I mean, Elsa really is stealing the show there, but I would imagine reinforcing the really important work that you and your team do. Australia reportedly has the worst mammal extinction rate on the planet at the moment, with over 30,000 koalas having been killed during your obviously very tragic bushfires in 2019. I mean, we were able to take in so much of what was going on there, even here in South Africa. Do you perhaps hope that Elsa's story is going to bring some attention to the koala and those desperate conservation efforts?
Yes, absolutely. Koalas in the wild, even before the fire, were having a lot of issues with habitat destruction, big areas of land being cleared for residential areas, for infrastructure. And then when those fires came through, it just made the whole basically process so much worse. It sped up that removal of the trees that they require. So yeah, the hope is that Elsa and all the other koalas in wildlife parks around the country, they can be used as ambassadors for their wild counterparts.
Jake, thank you so much for connecting with us and taking such good care, stepping in as Mama Koala there. I see you're doing a very, very good job. And if any other strange unions happen in the reptile, I mean, don't force it, but if any other cool stories emerge, please let us know. We'd love to connect with you guys. And send our love to little Hope as well, and give Elsa a massive cuddle from the whole of South Africa, actually. She's just too sweet, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. The Australian Reptile Park has reopened in a careful and responsible way, with all social distancing measures and updated procedures in place for visitors, as you'd understand. So from us in South Africa, we'll stay tuned to our social feeds to see more awesome stories like this. Oh, there we go. That's the money shot.
Warm up your winter with Super M by winning your share of 500,000 Rand in cash and prizes. Whether you need a morning pick-me-up, a midnight snack, or a study cram filler. Buy any Super M, follow Super M SA on Instagram or Facebook. Share your warm-up filler and tag 3 friends to stand a chance of winning your share of that 500,000 Rand in cash and prizes.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. Thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Now let's talk about coughing. It's a basic defense mechanism that helps to clear bacteria and viruses from the respiratory system. Now, more often than not, coughing is not serious and should clear up in about a week or 2. And in some cases, may be a sign of a more serious illness. And that's why right now we're chatting to Dr. Fezlim Kize, who joins us via video call to talk to us about the causes of a cough and how we can then better treat it. Dr. Fez, good to see you. How are you, man?
I'm good, sir. How are you guys doing?
Very well, thank you.
We are good. Listen, this morning, as I came to work with the driver, I coughed, and he gave me like this like
nasty look.
Is that you? Is that Rona?
What are you doing?
Like, what is it? What's life even? Like, you can't even cough like in peace anymore. But let's start right at the beginning, Fez. Let's start with what exactly is a cough?
Well, I think Kat explained it quite well. It's a defense mechanism that your body has. So if you imagine that your entire airway needs to be clear of kind of large particles to make sure that your body functions well, the cough is that kind of reflex where you try and make sure that nothing's there. So generally when we're talking coughs, your airways, so we're talking from your trachea, so your air pipe all the way down to the smaller airways, there are little kind of receptors to make sure that once you pick up any sort of big particle, big dust, a buildup of mucus, it actually expels it. So it's a very violent movement to make sure that everything comes out.
Now, looking at the more acute cases of a cough, what exactly are the more common causes?
Well, in this day and age, this era that we live in, everybody is very hyper-aware, and we talk about kind of the coronavirus and how that's something that's strongly associated with cough. But when we talk about coughs, generally we like to kind of simplify it to dry and wet coughs, and they both indicate different things. So when we're talking dry coughs, that generally means that there isn't necessarily a lot of production of mucus or any sort of substances that are in the chest, but your airways are very sensitive. And that's usually, especially over a long period of time, because your body is trying to defend against something. So there's an increase in the awareness in your defense system, and it makes everything more sensitive. And then when we talk wet coughs, that's when we start talking a higher likelihood of there being an infection. And you can kind of break that down into things that are non-infectious. So people who have sinus issues, especially with this change of season, you have mucus buildup, you have that post-nasal drip, because that's how your mucus actually drains. And then, especially when you're sleeping, because your esophagus, so your food pipe, and your airway are so close to each other, sometimes there's actually a slippage of that mucus into the airway, and you can cough. And sometimes if you can kind of spit it out and look at it on a tissue, you'll see that it's generally clear, indicating no infection. And when you start talking about colors, that's when you're saying, okay, maybe there is an infection there, maybe your sinuses have become infected with the bacteria on top of that, or even that you might be having a pneumonia. And that's when you start having your weird and wonderful colors, your greens, your yellows.
Sure, cough is quite complex.
It is next level. Would you then say, doctor, that a cough is contagious?
So a cough in and of itself is not, because as I said, it could be something that's just happening to you. So generally when it comes to cough, you have to look at it holistically. Is it just a cough? Is there fever as well? Is there kind of the cough with the sputum, so the wetness, and then the change in the color? That's when you start saying, okay, you have an illness, and then that illness is contagious.
Yeah.
Just like a coronavirus has a cough as one of the symptoms, but the illness itself is what's contagious, not necessarily the cough.
Now, what is the best way to treat a cough then, Dr. Fez?
Well, now we start going into what is causing it. So when we look at it as kind of the wet coughs and we're differentiating it, if you have somebody who's like very prone to sinuses, we start taking you down the route of what we treat you for sinuses, antihistamines, things like neti pots to make sure that you're clearing everything out. If it's as a result of kind of an infection such as the common cold or influenza, especially with influenza, that one tends to be dry. It starts quite quickly, and there we can give you symptom control. Things like cough syrups, those have specific kind of medication and chemicals that dumb that down, so you don't have that constant urge to cough. But it all kind of has to be part of this profile of whatever the illness or the potential aggravator is.
At what point would you then say, this is the time that we need to go and see a doctor? What point do we say, listen, I need to go to Dr. Fez now because this is getting pretty bad, like, I need to see you?
You need to look at it as a whole. If you're having a cough every so often, it could be that the air is dry, especially in the winter times, and that's why you're continuously clearing it out. I'm in Johannesburg. I know this is something that occurs quite often. It's when you start attaching things. Okay, I have a cough plus fever or plus this headache. Those pluses start giving me a profile as to something potentially happening. But if you do have a cough in and of itself, and it's been lasting for longer than even 2 weeks, and it's something that's now very irritating to you, especially at the workplace, especially when you're traveling around, and in these times, you can come to see me. There's a number of sites that actually have doctors who are online, and you can send a message there and just ask, and they'll ask you the relevant questions to see if you need to actually physically come in and see someone. So it's always a good indicator. It's a red flag, but it isn't by itself something that then warrants you to go in and see somebody.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Mkhize. As always, a pleasure to have your time and expertise. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, guys, and I always love having or being on the show. Maybe one day I'll be able to fly down and be there physically.
We certainly look forward to that day.
As long as you don't have a cough, then you can come.
Just a cough by itself, maybe once or twice in a week is okay. So I feel like I'd be safe.
Of course, this was all brought to you by Delink Junior, a cough syrup specifically formulated for alleviating coughs in young children. Delink Junior is sugar and alcohol-free and is recommended for children 2 years and older.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fezile Mkhize, for giving us advice on how to manage a nasty cough. Nobody likes that. And now, this is what we're going to make right now is going to inspire you so much. It's the Be Well Chicken and Veggie Booster Broth. It's cram-packed with fresh vegetables and Be Well canola oil goodness. You're going to love it, helping you boost your immune system, one nutrient at a time. Yes, that's right. It's Monday Motivation here on Expresso, and we're here to, get your meal prepping done in only 30 minutes. Wow. Okay, meal prepping in 30 minutes. Sounds impossible because meal prepping, Nicole, usually takes hours.
Oh, no, not when you have a chef around.
No, not when you have Nicole around.
No, but I'll show you how easy it is.
Show me.
Okay, so we're gonna add our BOL canola oil into your pot. We're gonna make a veggie broth. So, like it's almost like a chicken soup kind of thing,
Yeah.
but we're making more of like an Asian-inspired.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So we've got
Your oil in there.
our oil and a little bit of onion. So we're just
Okay.
gonna cook that up. You just want to get a little nice color to that. Then we've got chicken that I've just cubed. You can use, I've used chicken breast here today with its bone and skin removed. You
All right.
could also use thighs as well if you want. If you want to use the bone with the bone in, it's up to you. It's a very versatile recipe.
Okay, so you really can play with it.
Exactly.
Nice.
So we're going to add our spices, which we've got a little bit of cinnamon,
Cinnamon.
star anise.
Nice.
Then also we've got our garlic and ginger. We thinly sliced. So like what I like about this take is it's a lot more chunkier vegetables that you use instead
well,
of
just
paste.
adding that garlic and ginger on there, you already are talking to the immune boosting properties that we're speaking about. You know what I mean?
100%.
That is
Wow.
important. You'll get nowhere without garlic and
Ginger.
Ginger.
Yes,
That's
I
it,
still do my
Nicole.
ginger and lemon shots every day.
I know that.
I still haven't stopped.
I know that. Nicole started this at the beginning of lockdown when she was on a mission to just ramp up her immune system. She started issuing all these shots to us here in studio. You stopped giving to everybody else, but you've continued, Nicole. That's wonderful.
Well, I've continued and stopped giving to everyone else because they stopped bringing me lemons and ginger. That's
I'll bring
why.
lemons tomorrow. I'll bring lemons tomorrow.
Cool, so we've added this in, then we're gonna add our chicken. You can get some nice color to it.
Nice.
And then, like I said, like you wanna add oil as you see. So I see I need a little more oil, they're looking thirsty. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of the BOL oil over here. Then, because we've got this beautiful Eastern flavors to this, I'm going to add soy sauce.
Nice. Nice.
Soy sauce, and then we've got shiitake mushrooms that were dried up.
What are they called?
Shiitake.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All
beautiful, very woody, earthy mushrooms.
Oh.
So we rehydrate them in some boiling water. So I'm going to take that out because what you want to do with this water is add it to your broth.
So that's nothing else but water. This is not vinegar or anything. That's just water.
Just pure water, and your
boiling
mushrooms. See the color, it even change a bit of the color there. So you're going to add that in there as well. And then we've got chicken stock, which, you know, you could do veggie stock as well. If you don't want to have chicken or meat in here, you could obviously substitute it with maybe some broccoli or add extra veggies just to bulk it up.
Again, it is very versatile and you can make it your own.
Exactly, 100%. Every recipe can really be adjusted to what you like.
Yeah.
You know, it's just about up to you to play around with the flavors.
Yeah.
So you're gonna let this cook for 15 to 20 minutes just so your chicken is like just done. You don't want to overcook it because it's going to be very rubbery.
Okay, all right.
Then we've got some chopped fennel.
Yes.
Beautiful licorice
Throw that
flavor.
in there, Nicole.
Nice.
Nice.
Got a little pak choy, which is also a like Chinese little cabbage. We're going to add that in. It's going to cook down beautifully.
Stunning.
And then you're going to finish it off right at the end with some mung beans. So it's almost like, I think, like a noodle element to your broth. So
I like that all of these are such easy ingredients, but they go in and they really complete this dish that you're making here. Do you know what I mean? They're like easy, they're simple, they're quick, they're easily accessible as well, but they're all such healthy ingredients that go a long way.
Exactly. If you
bringing this
can't,
to life.
like, you can find these shiitake mushrooms at your local Asian food supermarkets, or you could buy them fresh as well.
I like that you are making use, of course, of our Be Well canola oil on there. It is, of course, GMO-free. It's got the, it carries the Cancer Smart Choice seal due to its high ratio of omega-6 to omega-3s. And, of course, omega-3s, that's what we're talking about there. Be Well canola oil is the only cooking oil carrying the Cancer Smart Choice seal, which we really do like.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of, I must say.
Yep, and it's made exclusively using locally sourced GMO-free canola oil. That's good news.
Great, so this is going to give our broth an extra boost of healthy vitamins and nutrients and oils. So you're going to let that cook down, and what you do at the end, Tabiso, is you take those limes and you squeeze it over the top just before you serve it, and with some fresh coriander.
Smells so good, but do you know what you do in the end, Nicole Snelling? That's not what you do in the end. That's not the only thing. What you do in the end is you have to put it in your mouth to see if it's come out the way that you wanted it to, you know?
Let me know
I'll
what you
tell you
think.
now. I'll tell you now.
it's so hearty, so
Oh,
warm,
man.
so nutritious. It's just different to your traditional chicken soup.
Oh, man, this is really awesome. Yes, it is definitely chicken soup plus. If you want this recipe, go on our website. It's www.expressoshow.com. We've loaded this together with all the ingredients that you need to bring it to life. Thank you so much for this. I know that you're making for the rest of the team over there as well. This is fantastic. Now, to get your hands on this recipe and so many more, also go on bewellfoods.co.za. That's bewellfoods.co.za. There's a free immune boosting cookbook that they've put on there. You are going to love it. It's going to be so inspiring in terms of what you can do, the variety of meals that you can do. It's so inspiring. We love it. Thank you, Nicole. This is so delicious.
Enjoy it.
Visit bewellfoods.co.za to download your free immune boosting cookbook today. Be well, love, food, life.
And strength, let every breath, all that I am, never cease to worship you. Shout to the Lord, all the earth, let us sing. Power and majesty, praise to the King. Bow down and the seas will roar at the sound of your name. I sing for joy at the work of your hands. Forever I'll love you, forever I'll stand. Nothing compares to the promise I have in you. My Jesus, my Savior, Lord, there is none like you. All of my days, I want to praise the wonder of your mighty love, my comfort, my shelter.
My God. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. The feel goodness and the festivities.
There we go, there we
Okay,
go.
That's the word I'm looking for. The festivities continue here as we want to take this moment to wish one of the Expresso family members, Ukinan Minard, who's in charge of Rags, a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Now, from the Expresso family to you, we want to wish you a blessed happy birthday. Thank you so much for the valuable part that you play in making sure that all of this happens. A happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Now, Jared Ricketts is still around for #Gospel Mondays. On Friday, we've asked you on social media which 2 songs you would like for him to perform. And he opened the show with a very immaculate performance of In Moments Like These. And right now, he's gearing up to perform Shout to the Lord.
Correct.
Right now, all right? Jared Ricketts, take it away.
Thank you.
my Jesus, my Savior. Lord, there is none like you. All of my days, I want to praise the wonders of your mighty love. My comfort, my shelter, tower of refuge and strength. Let every breath, all that I am, and never cease to worship you. Shout to the Lord, all the earth, let us sing. Power and majesty, praise to the King. Mountains bow down and the seas will roar at the sound of your name. I sing for joy at the work of your hands. Forever I'll love you, forever I'll stand. Nothing compares to the promise I have in you. Oh, my Jesus, my Savior, Lord, there is none like you. Let every breath, all that I am, come on, never cease to worship you. Shout to the Lord, all the earth, let us sing. Power and majesty, praise to the King. Mountains bow down and the seas will roar at the sound of your name. I sing for joy at the work of your hands. Forever I'll love you, forever I'll stand. Oh, nothing compares to the promise I have. Oh, nothing compares to the promise I have. Nothing compares to the promise I have in you.
That is exactly how you start off your day. That's exactly how you start off your week. That was Jared Ricketts, everybody. Wow, what a beautiful, heartwarming performance, right?
Beautiful, stunning work, Jared. Thank you so much. And thanks so much for the love that's been coming through on social media for him. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. We do this again on Monday with him. It is Gospel Mondays on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
You mean?
Thank you.
Yes, on Monday, actually.
On Mondays, yeah. Mondays. Gents.
Absolutely superb. So some great news. Tomorrow we're going to be joined by Sia and Rachel Khaleesi. It's going to be an amazing show. You can stick around to do a little bit more of a workout on our Facebook page. We all love you so much. Have an amazing day.
Make someone smile, man.
Mwah. Adios.
Expresso Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.